From Dragging the Line podcast, I'm your host with the most, One More Sanchez, and joining me live on Zoom is professional boxer Denis. Welcome to the show, sir. How you doing?
Yo, man, I'm blessed, man. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Now, I see that you're actually in the gym. So, as a professional boxer, can you tell us, whenever you're training for a fight, what does your day look like?
See, my life has changed so dramatically, so the answer for that changed. So I can tell you what it used to look like, and I can tell you what it looks like now. So what it used to was, it was a regular day. I didn't really care. Get up around like 1 o'clock, train, back home. I lived a very regular life. I lived life like a boxer. I just happened to be good. I didn't put the work in to get the results that I want. So I guess I didn't want them because I knew I wasn't doing what everybody else was doing. I just didn't care. I was enjoying life, and boxing was secondary to me. So that's how it was before. Now, I'm here from 6 a.m. So I work out. It's a long day. I work out multiple times a day, at least 3 times a day. And so I live boxing now. So I get up at 4:30 every day, eat breakfast, come to the gym at 6, train clients up until usually around 10 o'clock. I have my first break, eat food, then work out with my strength and conditioning coach from 11 to 12, teach class at 12. I go on break from 1 to 4. I usually run then. So I usually run during my break, which is like from like 1:30 to, and I chill from 2:30 to 4 o'clock. Teach class at 4 o'clock, have personal strength client at 5 o'clock, which is usually right now, but he worked out where I didn't have one right now. Teach class at 7 o'clock, and then work out at 8 o'clock again, and then go to bed.
As live, eat, breathe, champ. I wanted to follow up with you on your last bout, the one that you did in Dallas. You took the fight on a couple of days' notice. Now that you're explaining how you've been training for the fight, but when someone goes into the ring with the short notice and not looking at tape of the fighter, how did you take that fight and was able to move forward psychologically?
Well, I've chosen to not talk about that fight too much with people because I don't like making excuses. And I thought about, if I'm going to take a chance on anybody, I'm going to take a chance on myself. So I fought my lowest weight in 8 years. I did that in 6 days. After not training, because no type of training, I sparred one time and I just took the fight. I trusted my ability and I felt good. I convinced myself I was going to win. However, when I got in the ring, my body reminded me, no, you just lost 26. I just didn't have the energy, man. Like, I stopped. Because shout out to him, he's a good fighter, but I saw I kept overthinking stuff just because my body just didn't have it. So it was a very frustrating loss for that reason. Not because I lost to somebody. Not saying he's not, but who knows? Because he didn't get to fight a real meat.
Yeah, definitely mentally. When a lot of fighters have to lose weight and they get dehydrated, and then when they go to weigh in, your body physically can't handle that change because of the dehydration, like when boxers either gain weight or lose?
Based on what the science I understand is, it's not even your body, bro. Your body's full of water, but when you drain the water from your body, you dehydrate, you lose water around your brain. Yeah. That's the last bit of water to come back. So now your brain is slamming against your skull, but it doesn't have the water that it used to have to protect it, kind of. From what somebody told me. Again, I don't know, I'm not a scientist, but that's what somebody told me about. And then, it's not even just the liquid, it's the potassium. You lose a lot of other minerals that can't just be replaced with water. That's why people drink Pedialyte and stuff like that. But nobody understands. There's definitely people now that understand the science. But I didn't have that person with me.
Now, when you first moved out to Vegas, picked up training with Floyd Mayweather Sr., because you were trained a certain way with your mom, was it more difficult at first because your mom taught you a certain way and you just felt comfortable going that route when you're training with your mom?
No, because my mom told me, the beautiful thing about my mom is that as she was teaching me, she was still learning herself. I'm saying, like, she's not a boxer. So she's picking up, she's watching my uncle train me, picked up stuff, then we go spar people, she asks questions. So like, I've never had a closed mind when it comes to my training. I'm saying, like, she's developed her own style. The way I fight now is her own style, but it's styles taken from different trainers. I'll train with a guy called my big brother in Jersey. I train with my uncle Blimp, Dylan Parsley in New York. I trained with Floyd Sr. I trained with Eddie Mustafa Muhammad. And she was there all these times. So she's picked up different things from different people. And that's where my style's coming from. So I learned a lot from Floyd because Floyd kind of tried to train me the way his son fights, which is amazing. But that's years of honing that type of style. And I feel like I can't do it. But I'm able to take stuff from it that kind of meshes well with how I fight already. So that's what I was able to do. Now, I'm saying, at the time, I was trying to switch over and do exactly what Floyd does. But I've learned through trial and error, that's not for me. I've taken stuff away, definitely got a lot of movement, a lot of good things from both of them, from Floyd Sr. and Jr.
Now, while you were there, you weren't 100% dedicated. And one of the things that I saw in an interview, which I thought was awesome, was your mom saw you not being motivated. She quit her job, sold a house, and then your mom and your dad moved to Vegas. Now, I bring that up because family is everything. How did that change you? Did that give you the motivation back?
It didn't. Should have. It probably should have. Looking back, my parents came out here not only because I wasn't dedicated, bro, but I was gonna kill myself, man. I was drinking every night. I was a casino host, so I'm going to parties every night, drinking crazy, driving home drunk, getting DUIs. So that's what she saw. She didn't move out here really necessarily because of the boxing. She went there to save her son, to save their son's life. But they saw I was going to jail for DUI. I crashed my car, totaled my car. I had a lot going on. I was dealing with depression, and I didn't know it, but I was gonna hurt myself. My parents were there to save my life, but it didn't give me back focus on boxing. It just made me sneak to drink. I was just sneaking to do it now. What really got me together was it was a combination of them being here. I lost my girlfriend because I did some stupid stuff with her, and I got a DUI for the last time. And my daughter's mom said to me, and I love my daughter. My daughter's like one of my biggest inspirations. So I do everything for my daughter. But me and her mom get along great. And she said to me, no anger or nothing. She was like, hey, listen, from now on, I don't want Raya to come to your house. You can still see her whenever you want, but come to my house. And I was like, what? Why? She was like, because I don't want her to get used to going over there, and then you're gonna end up in jail, and then she's not gonna be able to go over there no more. So let her just be used to here. So the transition won't be that crazy when you get locked up. And she said it with no attitude. She said it just like that, plain. Like She really thought I was gonna end up being in jail, and my daughter was gonna be with me, and it hurt. Like her saying that, not mean. It did something to me. Like it snapped something. Then I lost my job. I just hit like rock bottom. So I decided, you know what, no. I'm going to change. I'm going to stop drinking because I want to be on my daughter's life. I don't ever want to go to jail or lose her. So that's what got me, again, fixing my, it still wasn't about boxing yet for my daughter. I started going to therapy, quit drinking, got sober. And as I got sober, working out became more fun. It became more outlet. It wasn't as hard as it used to be when I was drinking. Like I really started getting in shape. I wasn't in shape all this time. Like I was running I was running when I was drinking stuff, but the runs never got easier. The run was still hard. But now I'm not drinking and I'm running 30 minutes, but that's easy. So I run 45 minutes, but that's easy. Then I run an hour and a half. Now I'm running 2 hours a day. Then I'm sparring nonstop. And I'm like, wow. Then it became remote. Well, my mom saw me come back alive in the gym. Then she came back to like really, she wasn't taking me serious either because I wasn't taking me serious. When she saw me running 2 hours a day and I ran 18 miles today and then she's like, okay. Then that's when it all came. So it all came together. But it was never about boxing, bro. Like I got my life together for myself. And then boxing, it just became part of that.
Now, I wanted to talk about your boxing career. I know that you've been in the ring with a lot of people with experience and some of the greats. Now, what would be one thing that you would tell your younger self now that you're at this level when you first turn pro? That maybe someone that watches that's going to start boxing, that you can let them know?
You know what I'm going to say? And it's funny because I hate this saying, but I finally get it. People say, you can't play boxing. I used to hate that because I'm like, what? We're robbing ourselves as boxers by saying you can't play boxing. We lose consumers. Gyms don't work because nobody's coming to play boxing. People go play basketball. They work all day, then they come play basketball, but they don't go play boxing because we're scaring them. So I used to hate that saying, but I get it now. At the level that we want to be at, world champion level, you can't play boxing. Your life's on the line. So at this level that I'm at the level that Floyd, Errol Spence is, you have to take everything serious. There's no time for clubs. Right now, like if the party life and the girl chasing, if that's what your priority is, don't do it. Because I did it and I'm blessed. I'm lucky to have made it out and be on this side and still have a chance to become a world champion. Even if people don't believe in me or not, I'm still active, still fighting, still got people with fans. So I'm blessed. But there's fighters that lost their careers because of alcohol and partying. So if you can't commit to boxing in that sense, don't even do it. Do it, play boxing. You know what I'm saying? Do it like this, come to the gym, it's fun to spar. If you want to get to this level, you can't play boxing. So that's my bit of advice for anybody. Take it serious, every aspect. Your diet, the amount of sleep you get, the amount of training you put in, the amount of sex you're having, like take it serious.
Man, that's some good knowledge right there. One thing that I wanted to touch base on is, as a professional, whenever you take that first L, everybody nowadays wants to protect the zero to be known as a great. How can a boxer move forward and keep fighting with the same mentality? You know what? Some people learn from it. Like Ricky Hatton, when he lost, done. But someone like Cotto who lost and said, hey, you know what? It changed me. Let me go to Freddie Roach. Since you've been there, how did you handle that?
I would say still to this day, I don't fight for anybody else. I fight for me. So that's where it comes down for the challenge. If you think people don't know this, but if you look at the fights that I've lost outside of the first one, which I did have a right amount of time, but I was playing, drinking, partying. That's why I lost my first fight. But fights like Jermell Charlo, George Groves, who else? Benavidez. All fights I've taken in short notice. 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I just took the fight because I love boxing. I love the sport that much that I want to challenge. I look at it as a challenge because people define themselves on their records, and that's weird to me. I go into gyms and you look at a fighter that has 6 losses, nobody talks to him. But Devin Haney walks in the gym and everybody talks to him, and I'm like, so we only like people based on their records. So I've decided to not be that kind of person, and because I have that kind of respect for myself, people feel it. They're like, there's no other fighter with my record. That's fair. There's no other fighter on my record where Devin Haney closes the gym and nobody can come in, nobody can have their camera. I got my camera. Remember, I demand a certain level of respect, and people give you that respect. When people lose, they look at themselves as a loser, so you get treated like that's what happens.
Man, that's some good knowledge right there. I wanted to talk about this weekend's fight with Canelo. When Sanders, he got some negative feedback where they said he quit. I even saw Fernando Vargas post a picture when he got that. Now, I've interviewed some boxers and they said only boxers will understand when they're in the ring. What's your take on something like that with that situation? Because some say I'm going to die in the ring, which he probably did. That injury is very not common.
I think, honestly, at the level that Billy Joe is at, we don't have any right to say what he can and cannot do on there. I feel like he's earned, he's proven, he's shown us the heart. We just watched Billy Joe, his last fight, lose a round and knock somebody out. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So we know he's a warrior. So, like I'm saying, after you've shown us you're a warrior like that, then I believe you. So if he said he couldn't see, or the doctors told him, I believe it. You can't compare injuries, because just because your eye was swollen, we don't know what that means. Like Fernando Vargas, maybe you can still see somehow. Who knows? I'm saying, like, we can't compare injuries. I'm saying, so I would never disrespect Billy Joe like that. First of all, I'm a fan, and this is coming from somebody that got offered to fight Billy Joe. I wanted to fight him at one point, but it didn't work out. But I'm a fan of boxing. I look at Billy Joe, I thought he put up against one of the best in the world right now. I was a beast. Fernando Vargas wasn't fighting somebody that was punching him like Canelo was punching, and that's what you don't understand. What was that?
I think that was Shane Mosley. I think that was the Shane Mosley. What was his last one?
But Canelo is punching different, bro. Like, you saw the punch. Canelo was trying to hurt that. He was throwing punches. I haven't seen him fight like that in a minute. Like, it was just double jab. He was throwing those punches with some serious intentions. Who are we to tell Billy Joe keep taking that? Nah, bro. You feel me? Like, nah, I would never disrespect a fight like that. So now, shout out to Billy Joe. Shout out to Canelo. Great fight. But Canelo was just at a different level. That's it.
And then the last question, champ. What's your take on, like, the exhibition fights? We got Mayweather, Paul. We got Cotto and Marquez. And they're probably make. Go ahead.
I like it, man. Like, other boxers are mad. You're not giving real boxing. Get your fans up, bro. Like, we gotta do better jobs to promote ourselves, because promoters aren't promoting us. So the fight has to promote themselves. We have to do like Ryan Garcia did. We gotta get better with interacting with our fans and stuff like that. So this is actually helping us do that, because now there's people that don't watch boxing that are now watching boxers, because program probably made thousands of fans of people who would never watch the Regis program, but they was going to watch Jake Paul, and they saw him now. So even you just have millions of people that never watch you. Out of those millions, you probably made a couple 100,000 fans. This is good for boxing. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are just taking it the wrong way. Like, those fights are those fights. They're not like, I don't take Jake Paul. Like, somebody said, why don't you fight Jake Paul? I don't want to fight Jake. He's in his own lane. You know what I'm saying? If they offer me a ridiculous amount of money, I'll make, of course. But I'm not calling out Jake Paul. Like, you'll never see me call out there for that. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. As far as prove yourself, he's just making money now. Let him make his money. Shout out to Corey.
Put you on the spot. Quick questions, quick answers, okay? Who's a boxer you looked up to?
Emmanuel.
All right. Other than boxing, what do you like to do for fun?
I live life. Karaoke, top golf, singing, dancing, swimming, everything.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
You ain't too proud to beg about 17. If I go to karaoke, I'm going to get a round of applause.
That's the penny dropper right there. All right. Given the opportunity to fight someone that you want to, who would that be?
Canelo. Again.
Now, when it's all said and done and it's time to hang up the gloves, how do you want to be remembered?
As somebody that loved boxing, that really was a true advocate for the sport. When people talk about me, they're going to say that Mama's boy will fight anybody, any place, anywhere, win or lose or draw. He was a real boxer. I feel like we got away from that with the YouTubers and everything. We got away from real people that care about the sport. I'm not a businessman when it comes to boxing. I just want to fight. So I want to be remembered as that guy. And a world champion, but that guy. The first world champion trained by his mother that just loved boxing.
Facts. And then one last thing is, if anybody could take away one thing from this interview, what would that be?
I'm going to say it's not has nothing to do with boxing. I'm just going to say, be nice, be kind, because the world is in a crazy place right now. There's so much division. We're at an all-time high with depression. Be nice, you know what I mean? Be known to some stranger as the person that was really nice to that person one day, because it makes the world, you never know whose day you can impact by just saying hello or being a nice person. So that's what I'm trying to do in my life, is just be a nice person. Be a nice person.
Well said, man. For those who want to get in touch with you, where can they find you?
Oh, definitely follow me on Instagram, Mama's Boy _Dennis. Follow me on Twitter, The Mama's Boy, DA, Mama's Boy. On Facebook, Denis Douglin. So reach out to me, guys. I answer. I'm one of those boxers, if you guys don't know, I'm one of those boxers that answers every single DM, whether you call me whack, whether you want to talk about boxing. I talk to everybody. So I designate an hour of my day to just respond to my fans, supporters, because I won't be making money. So, like, my life, talk about my alcoholism, depression, whatever you want to talk about, hit me up. As long as
Appreciate it. And all that information, guys, will be down in the description below. Dennis, it was a pleasure getting to know you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.